Coming up on Cronkite Sports Now, the new Phoenix Suns jerseys are out and they're hotter than the Valley. Which ASU Hooper became only the second in school history to earn preseason All-American, and one of ASU's most successful wrestlers of all time returns to the mats. Hey there, and welcome into another edition of Cronkite Sports Now. I'm Reed Harmon. A pair of Arizona high school football players were announced as the recipients of the 2020 Great American Rivalry Series Scholar Athlete Award. Cronkite News reporter Adam Noel spoke with the players and their respective coaches about the national honor.
Although they may consider themselves rivals when they step on the gridiron, one place Hamilton and Chandler High School can come together is in the classroom. The two were the only schools in Arizona to have football players named to this year's Great American Rivalry Series Scholar Athlete list.
The selections have been made. Now the voting.
The GARS Award recognizes student athletes for both their on-the-field and in-the-classroom success. This year's recipients were Hamilton senior James John and Chandler senior Ceci Bada. Each were nominated by their coaches for going above and beyond.
That's the reason he received the award, because he's dependable, trustworthy, responsible, great character. And I've never seen a setback in any of those categories.
In addition to the national recognition, John and Ibarra will both receive a $500 scholarship. And to put it in perspective, the two were among only 144 high school football players selected from across the country. Chandler head coach Rick Garrettson praised Ibarra, a senior offensive lineman, for continuing to put the school in the national scene.
He represents our school well. He represents our program well. And he's just a class kid and a class act, both on and off the football field and in our community.
John, a senior defensive back at Hamilton High School, mentioned it wasn't always easy for him to balance academics and athletics.
It takes a lot of self-discipline and work ethic to get that done. So it's definitely an honor to be nominated for an award that encompasses both of them, because I know how hard it is to really keep my focuses on both of them at the same time.
For Ibarra, the award was a testament to how hard he's worked to bring his grades up after a difficult first couple years of high school.
I struggled a lot my freshman year and part of my sophomore year, and me and my mom sat down and talked, and we really got down what I need to do in the classroom, how I could fix it, and I've just been bringing my grades up ever since, and it's just a huge accomplishment to me, and I'm proud of my grades.
And it doesn't just end there for John and Ibarra. Each has the chance to be voted on from family and friends to the GARS Hall of Fame team. Student athletes who finish in the top 25 will be eligible for an additional scholarship. Adam Noel, Cronkite News.
After a heartbreaking loss this past weekend against Miami, the Cardinals still put up an impressive performance on offense. An offense led by a guy who some consider an MVP candidate.
It's time. It's year two. We don't have time to wait around and say, we'll do this in year 6 or year 7. You never know. You never know when your last snap's going to be. So I'm always striving to get better, always striving to be the best. And I think that every time I go out there on Sunday, that's the ultimate goal is to get a win and put my team in the best possible situation to get that win.
The Cardinals faced another MVP candidate this coming weekend when Josh Allen and the 7-2 Buffalo Bills come into town Sunday at 2:05 p.m. Arizona time. The Valley is getting even hotter, like we need more sun, but trust me on this one, there's good reason for why it's heating up. The Phoenix Suns just dropped some new uniforms, and while I could explain to you how sweet they are, I'd rather show you.
Valley of the Sun.
Two-time national champ and former Sun Devil Zahid Valencia will be making his return to the mats this Saturday after a 9-month suspension for a failed drug test. He'll be taking on Olympic gold medalist Jordan Burroughs at 8 Eastern, streaming on Flow Wrestling.
Jordan Burroughs and Zahid Valencia, obviously coaching them over the last several years, you see a lot of similarities. You see two tremendous champions. Getting their hand raised is something they're very good at.
Staying in the gym, ASU Wrestling announced their recruiting class this season, and it's highlighted by the #1 pound-for-pound recruit in the nation, California native and 3-time state champ, 3-time state champ, Richard Figueroa. Now going from the mats to the ice, Arizona State hockey has evolved over the past 5 years. Not only are they a program that everyone wants to go play for, but now the Sun Devil goalies are being coached by a former NHL goalie, Eddie Lack. Cronkite News reporter Lauren Shirley has more on the new coach.
Former goalie Eddie Lack spent 5 seasons in the NHL. He announced his retirement earlier this year due to a hip injury. Lack has now traded in his NHL jersey for a Sun Devil sweater and is now in his 2nd season as a volunteer goalie coach with ASU.
And it's super easy to work with. Like, the coaching staff is great here and everyone on the team. So yeah, it's been a fairly easy transition, I think.
Despite Lack not being a full-time coach, he still plays an important role on and off the ice for the team.
I'm there almost every day now. I'm pretty happy with the role that I have.
It's not every day that varsity teams get to be mentored by former NHL players. Coach Greg Powers weighed in on how Lack's presence has created a positive feeling among his players.
He's had a tremendous impact on all of us in many different ways, and just helping with the goalies. Just his presence alone makes us better. And he adds a level of pedigree to our staff that certainly doesn't hurt.
Goalie Evan DeBrouwer appreciates having the opportunity to work with a coach like Eddie, who has had top-notch experience in the game.
He's been in every situation imaginable, right? So it's really nice when you have a good game or a bad game, and you can come into the room and know exactly what to say.
Lack has been a mentor to these players as a coach and as a person that they're aspiring to be. Coach Greg Powers says his leadership goes way beyond being on the ice.
Look up to him. Eddie, they saw play. They know who Eddie is. They used to watch him on TV. They follow him on social media. So he has that more of an effect in that way. And
near the end of Lack's career, he suffered from a torn labrum in his left hip, and after surgery, he decided it was time to hang up the skates. But with his NHL experience, Eddie is sharing his knowledge with the players.
He was telling us last year, he was like, if I knew these stretches and this routine when I was 23 years old, I'd still be playing right now. So definitely something that he's passed on to us is injury prevention.
The Sun Devil hockey team will not have any home games this year due to COVID-19, but Coach Lack will be a regular at practices to support and mentor the team. For Cronkite News, I'm Lauren Shirley.
We talked about Arizona heating up a little bit earlier, and it was for good reason. And this time, it's for even better reason if you're an Arizona State fan. Let's just say Remy Martin is back, and so is ASU Basketball. Cronkite News reporter Hadley Heck has more on the upcoming season.
The clock is almost up for ASU Basketball preseason training as the Sun Devils make their season debut on November 25th. ASU is ranked number 2 in the Pac-12 preseason poll and number 18 in the AP Top 25. The roster is loaded with weapons this year, including the return of senior guard Remy Martin. Bobby Hurley is excited about what he's seen from the team this far.
We've been known for our pace of play and getting up and down the floor and playing an aggressive style, and I think that we have the athletes and the depth to play that way. So that's exciting because that's what we've been trying to build towards.
It looks great because we all feed off each other. We all feed off energy. Everybody has something they bring to the table.
Martin was among 20 players named on the Bob Cousy Point Guard of the Year watch list. He was also named a preseason All-American. Given his success in prior years at ASU, Martin was faced with a decision to enter the NBA draft or remain a Sun Devil for one last season.
It was something that was messing with my head, because it was such a tough decision, right? It's a life decision, one of the hardest decisions I'll probably ever make. And my parents, my family around me, just wanted the best for Remy Martin. And I think that, that decision was the best for Remy Martin, was to come back. And I think that, I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to finish out at Arizona State.
Certainly, we would love for Remy to have an opportunity, and Alonzo Verge and Kamani Lawrence are seniors, and just with all the optimism surrounding the program this year to get us to the point where we could complete a season.
At the end of the month, the Sun Devils opened their season against the number 2 Baylor Bears in the Empire Classic at the Mohegan Sun. Here at Desert Financial Arena, I'm Hadley Heck, Cronkite News.
That'll do it for this edition of Cronkite Sports Now. Once again, I'm your host, Reed Harmon, and I hope you have a great weekend.